Going on YouTube? Thanks for tuning into the channel. It's your boy Devin Coates coming to you with day 33, 48 days with the 48 laws. So first off, gotta apologize. I've been super inconsistent with this whole project. So looking towards the new year, but I'm gonna try to rapid fire bang this out before Christmas time. Hopefully, definitely before New Year's. So law number 33: discover each man's thumbscrew. Judgment. Everyone has a weakness, a gap in the castle wall. That weakness is usually an insecurity, an uncontrollable emotion or need. It can also be a small secret pleasure. Either way, once found, it is a thumbscrew you can turn to your advantage. So it's pretty hard to go through every example. It'll be like a 20-minute thing because they go through a bunch. But basically, there's actually a line here. Sigmund Freud remarked, "No mortal can keep a secret if his lips are silent. He chatters with his fingertips. Betrayal oozes out of him at every pore." This is a critical concept in the search for a person's weakness. It is revealed by seemingly unimportant gestures and passing words. So basically, this whole chapter is about, which the whole book is really about social intelligence and observing people, but figuring out what makes somebody tick. So there's certain people that, I'll kind of go back to that page because it has a lot of different things. So one is like the helpless child. So maybe for some reason you always kind of feel childlike, and it's really just paying attention to their subtle gestures. So they might not say it out loud, and one is like look for contrast. So if somebody is very, like Mike Tyson's a great example. Like he's a big, intimidating boxer, but when you hear him speak, if you watch his documentary, he's actually a very soft kind of childlike figure, and there's a huge contrast between his mean, aggressive persona and then what he sounds in actual speech, and really what makes him tick, and how he was bullied when he was a kid, and he's really just trying to overcompensate for something like that. You also want to find, and I'm going to kind of add these together, you want to find who is, he calls it the weak link, but also find who's controlling a situation. So a lot of times there might be a boss, a CEO, or a manager in any situation, but they might not actually be calling the shots. There could be somebody that's below them, behind the scenes, that is doing things. And you want to know who's actually making things happen. So it's really about being very aware and looking to see those subtleties, those little things that people are hiding, because we're all wearing armor, trying to hide certain insecurities. We want to just do things our own way, but beneath that, there is ways that we can't really protect ourselves that well against other people's will, because we have these deeply ingrained little emotional triggers. And that's really where I want to end with this, is that you're looking for emotional triggers, things that get somebody emotional, that are kind of tying away from rationality, where these are the things that are running them on an emotional basis. Like, and this is just one personal theory. I think Robert Greene would probably agree, at least partially, to what I'm saying. But a lot of times, and I remember in one of my college courses, it was like an anthropology course, and somebody said something I just completely fucking disagreed. And he was like, humans are, it was a philosophy class. It was like, he's like, well, something about making us human and being very, we're the rational being, we're super rational. But if you really think objectively about most of what we do, maybe we have the ability to rationalize, but generally the stem of the reason why we're doing something is not that rational. Like, it kind of doesn't make sense. So that's what you're looking for, the things that actually are ticking their whole movement through things. So somebody could seem so cold and calculated, but like somebody with not OCD wouldn't be a good example, but somebody could be so cold and calculated, but what is the emotional trigger that is creating that cold and calculating ability? And then also, why are they being cold and calculating about that particular topic? So a good example actually would probably be like a serial killer. A lot of the times they thought this shit through, especially like the ones that are getting away. You know, they thought of how to hide things, how to do things, and it's like, it's so rational and logical and kind of unbelievable how they could have thought through something so sinister. But it's like, what is the thing that's actually controlling them? And generally, the thing that gets them to do the action, it's like they struck that emotional chord. So if it might have been a trauma long time ago, it's like somebody struck that chord with them and kind of fueled them to do that. So that's what you want to do. You don't want to obviously create a serial killer, but you want to learn how to find that inner working, and then obviously maximize the opportunity there in terms of getting them to do what you wish. And obviously on the other end, you want to make sure that you're aware of kind of the things that get you going, the little emotional, rational things that you do on a daily basis, and obviously be aware if somebody is kind of playing against that. So, I mean, maybe if you were bullied when you were younger, and I know I kind of went through a little bit of something like that, I do have a problem with people trying to kind of like upshow me. Like, that's not like an immediate thing. I definitely don't come off as a person like that. But if you directly try to kind of like sun me, that really sparks something in me. I'm not like a person that's really gonna want to back down. And if I did, I'm holding a grudge. Like, there is a grudge that's going to be held, and I'm going to get you back. And that's just something that's like a little bit irrational, but it's something within me that I know that somebody can control in multiple ways. They can get me to make an act by having somebody do something towards me, or they can make me feel very good by making it seem like I'm unapproachable in terms of ways of, like, I mean, I wouldn't want to do anything with you or something like that. But I don't want to go too long. I've got a lot of chapters to read. I'm trying to bang these out rapid fire. So that's Law 33. You can pick up a copy in a link in the description below. It's your boy Devin Coates. Until next time, peace out.